Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Boss Talks. I'm Kristine Drummond and I've got the amazing Joel Lord with me again today. We're not side by side this week, Joel, but we are going to bring you insane content today. And the only fee that we charge for you to get your hands on this great content is share it. If you love this information, please go out there and share it with other people, because we really feel that, you know, people are spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on self-development and the information that we're sharing with you on a weekly basis, and we're giving it out for free. So please help us with our mission, and we want to help you guys really elevate your life. And today we're going to be talking about how to create an unstoppable life. And it's not usual, but today we're actually going to give a little workshop a plug that Joel and I are going to be holding on the Gold Coast in August, and we can send you the dates and everything for that. I think it's Friday the 23rd. However, if you want more details, you know, we can touch on that at the end. You can reach out to us. But today we're going to cover a few things that we are going to be sharing and empowering you with on that day, and how to create that unstoppable life. So, Joel, we've got a few topics that we want to cover. There's so much that we're going to be jamming in to this one-day workshop. It's going to be an incredible experience. So can you tell us a few things that that we're going to be touching on for our Unstoppable Life workshop?
Oh, well, what an intro. And yeah, like this is something that we've been working on in the background for quite a while. And look, you're exactly right. We have been seeing people spending like thousands and thousands of dollars on, you know, lots of personal development. And we just want to get people started. So a lot of people, one of the most common questions I get asked is like, where do we get started? When it comes to personal development, where do we get started? And, you know, I didn't really have anyone to put me on the right path, and maybe I wasn't hearing it correctly at the beginning, because a lot of the stuff that is the personal development 101, if you just take it and apply it, it's going to like send you on a trajectory like this. So what we've done is we're like clearing out all the mumbo jumbo, because there are people out there without a shadow of a doubt that like to complicate it so they sound smart so they can get more money off you. Well, it doesn't have to be difficult. Like if you can just create strong habits and rituals, like if you get taught how to do that and you apply that, you're halfway there. You know, if you learn things like what your reticular activating system is, you know, and how to program it, that's another big one. Like if you can actually learn self-confidence, it's a teachable skill. It's not something you're born with. You're not just born confident, you know. And if you don't feel confident, and you know there's strategy to become confident, like what would that mean for you? Because confident people get paid. Confident people get the partner they want. Confident people just get what they want, more of what they want in life. You know, goal setting strategies, like actual ones, like because we've heard so many goal setting strategies, you know, and just developing how to win. You know, there's a strategy for winning. You know, most people out there don't know that there's a strategy to win. Like everyone has been successful somewhere in their life. You've won something. If you could piece that together, you've got a strategy to win. Like one of the things that happened, when I had a big win, my coach got me to write down how I did it. And he said, there's your personal strategy for winning. You can do that in your health, in your wealth, in your relationship. That is your formula to success, you know. And then obviously the stuff like around health and well-being is super important, because without your health, it's not there. But like that's just the beginning. Like there's all like I'm so excited. Are you excited, Kristine? Like I hope I've rambled on with stuff that we're going to be doing, and then that's only the tip of the iceberg.
It is, mate, and I am so excited, and it's so hard to condense this content down into a one-day workshop. However, how would you like to walk away from this workshop knowing exactly where you stand in regards to your health and fitness, where you're going, getting clarity on what you actually want and the steps in order to achieve the goals you want in that area? Imagine walking away from this workshop and having clarity around your emotional intelligence or your social goals or your character, or having some direction in regards to parenting or spirituality or your relationships, your career. Or imagine walking away from this workshop of the Unstoppable Life and knowing exactly where you stand with in regards to your finances and where you want them to be, and the action steps needed to elevate from where you are now into, you know, where you need to be to create that goal as well. So we're going to touch on that as well. We're going to talk about quality of life and your life vision. Now, your life vision comes back to, what are your highest values? What do you hold closest to your core? You know, what do you stand for? What are the thoughts, ideas, concepts, and beliefs that you believe about yourself? That is your identity, okay? And we have to keep recreating our identity. The person and the identity that we keep rerunning is not going to be the identity that we need in order to live an elevated life, in order to lead an unstoppable life. So we're going to actually give you the tools to create a new identity. Now, I want you guys to know that life is it's like a script, and you're the main character in that book. And you get to rewrite the script any way you like, you know, and that's the beauty about life, is that you can absolutely create a whole brand new chapter, a whole new character for you to play anytime you want. And we're going to give you the tools to be able to do that. We want you to start telling yourself a new story. We don't want you to keep rerunning the old story. No one cares about your failures. No one cares about your wins. What we care about is the person that you're aiming to be, the person that you're going to reinvent in order to escalate your life, in order to illuminate your life, in order to be a better example of yourself. Because when you do that, you've heard us say it before, it has ripple effects. It has ripple effects on your kids. It has ripple effects on your partner. It has ripple effects on your family, your community, the rest of the world. When you are being a better example of yourself, you vibrate at a higher level, and everything in the planet is working on vibration. You know, everything's vibrating at different frequencies. So we want you to vibrate at a higher frequency. We want you to really tune in to who you are and what you stand for and what your values are, so you have a really clear understanding of why you're on this planet. Who would love that? Who would love to know exactly why they're here and to walk away from our Unstoppable workshop having a very clear, distinct vision of why they're here and where they're going and the steps needed in order to achieve it? Oh my God, like, I want to sign up for it. I want to come along.
I nearly bought myself a seat when I was talking about it before. And like, I actually spoke, like, we haven't even released the tickets yet, and we've already sold tickets. Like, and it is capped. It's capped at 20, and it's so close to invitation only because it's such a private, intimate group. That's the setting we're going for. So look, guys, all I can tell you is that everything in your life is a learnable skill. You just have to understand whether it's worth your time to go learn that skill, or if it's not worth your time, you pay someone else that has that skill to do the job for you. But there are certain things in your life that, you know, that you have to take control of, you know. And what this event is going to do is we're going to, every day you're writing the book of your life. You're writing in the book of your life, and like, it's either you or someone else. Now, what the majority of the planet is doing is someone else is writing that story for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go take that pen off that other person. We're going to give it back to you. We're going to show you how to do it. So look, Kristine, let's share some of the things. Like, let's just share something that we're going to be doing there at the event. Let's give them some skills right now, because I've got a question for you. In fact, when was the last time you did something that you had butterflies when you were doing it? Remember when you were like, maybe you're a kid and it was you were speaking in front of the first time you were speaking in front of the class, or
About 10 minutes ago when we started this podcast.
Really? Amazing. Because, you know, like, I basically, one of the things we're going to teach people to do is start chasing those butterflies again. You know, if you are doing things and you're not getting butterflies in your stomach, I can guarantee you're not thinking big enough. We want you to start chasing butterflies. We want you to start there's no chance of you getting to your potential if you're not like chasing butterflies. So if it's in your business, who's that person you like are too frightened to reach out to buy or to sell to? Who's that girl that you wish you could ask out, or that probably best not to do that if you're married, but you know what I mean? Like, what's that? You know, like, who's that person that you wish you could meet? Who's that person you'd reach out to? Like, who's that person you'd love to be coached with? Who's that person you'd love to meet? What's that business idea that you're going to start? Like, you know, like, how do you turn those thoughts into reality? Well, you've got to have butterflies in your stomach when you're making these jumps. Otherwise, isn't life boring? Like, did that make sense, Kristine? Like, other than the 10 minutes ago? Like,
yeah,
how are we going to help people do that?
Well, I think it all comes down to, you know, you want to feel more of the good feelings in life. And I feel like some people out there are feeling more of the negative emotions than the positive emotions, you know, and we are squashing our joy because it terrifies us. We feel that if we allow ourselves to be too joyful or to be too much of ourselves, or to be the person we really can be, that it's going to all be taken away from us. We live in fear all the time. And I'm here to tell our listeners today that life doesn't have to be like that. Yes, everything in humanity happens in duality, and you can't have good without bad, but you can still feel the most purest positive emotions, and you can feel them more often and not be afraid of having them taken away, because you're going to be so much more emotionally intelligent that you're going to be able to handle whatever the universe throws at you. And we're going to give you some of those skills, some of those tools and resources to be able to cope with stuff like that in the Unstoppable Life workshop. And I'm here to tell you, like, whatever area it is for you, like, you know, I just mentioned 12 areas before, you know, your health and fitness and your finances, your career, your quality of life, your spirituality, all that kind of stuff. Like, if there was one area in your life that if you knew that you could nail that area of your life, life would look totally different, then we're going to help you work on that one area. We're going to help you come away from this workshop with so much clarity and certainty that you are going to be absolutely unstoppable in nailing this area of your life, that watch how all the other areas seem to fall into place when you get that one that holds you up. For me, it's always, you know, usually around the financial and being really super organized with that. So that's one area that I'm working on at the moment, is getting more organized with my finances. I know if that is taken care of, then everything else kind of falls into place. But it might be relationships with you, you know, relationships with your partner. You know, if you and your partner are rock solid, then don't you become unstoppable within that relationship, within life in general? When you and your partner are just like so strong and know exactly who you are, what you stand for, what each other plays, like what role you play in that relationship, life just seems so much easier, doesn't it? It just seems so much more blissful. So we want you to live a life of ecstasy. We want you to really start feeling more of those positive emotions. We don't want you to chase happiness. We want you to live a more blissful life. We want you to just feel more in tune with who you are as a person. We want you to be yourself without fear of judgment, without fear of everything being taken away because you're crushing it out there in life. We want you to absolutely go out there with that unstoppable mentality and confidence. You mentioned that before, Joel. Like, so many people have said to me, oh, if I just had a little bit more confidence, I would have this. If I just had a little bit more confidence, I would be, you know, have less fear around reaching out to this person. Guys, we're going to give you the tools on how to be more confident, to how to be more certain, to how to be, you know, just a whole better version of yourself. And that's why I'm really excited about this workshop, Joel, because we are going to cover and give you thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. Like, Joel and I have both invested over $100,000, probably more, a lot more than that, in personal development. That's separately. So together it would have been hundreds of thousands of dollars in personal development. And we're giving this all to you. And I don't even know if we're allowed to say the price on here or not. I don't know, but it's very... Hey?
$10 million. That's
$10 million. It's worth $10 million. You're going, yep, absolutely. Millions of dollars of value. And it could just be that 1 degree. You take one thing that we say on the day and it sets you in that 1 degree of direction, and it's totally changed the whole outlook of your life. And now you come away with so much clarity about why you're here, where you're going, what you want to achieve, and which area you're going to start on first. So I'm so excited, Joel.
My story alone, I'm going to tell at the beginning. I'm going to tell them my story, and my story will give you more confidence. My story will help you make a ton of money. I'm going to share the ups and the downs, and you're going to learn a lot about me, and then you'll go, shit, if he can do it, I can do it. So look, Kristine, like this has been very informative for the audience about our amazing event coming up. But how about how do you feel about giving them some amazing value that can change your lives from this podcast? Because that's what this podcast is about, them being the boss of their life. And I know for a fact that you are a master of the bucket list, master of the goal setting, and you can can we just share part of what you're going to be sharing at that event? Like you've actually got statistics around how to set goals, and within a 5-year period that 75% of these goals get ticked off in 5 years, and over a 10-year period it goes up to some crazy amount. But there's a specific way that you can set goals to have what you want, to live the life that you want by design. Like, I know we're going to do it on the day, but can you run us through a podcast version of that so that our listeners can get some goals, they'll be able to kick them before August, before they come to the event?
Yeah, absolutely, Joel. This is really close to my heart. We call it 100 Goals for the Soul. And this is a really fun exercise that you can do with your partner as well. You can fill them in separately and see where your goals overlap as a couple or as a family. And it's so fun. And I'll actually give you a couple of the goals so that people can, start thinking about it as well in their everyday life. So what we do is the 100 Goals for the Soul is actually 25 questions, but they have four areas each. So I'll give you an example. In regards to your health, what's a milestone you would like to reach with your health? So we want 4 goals around health, 4 milestones you would love to reach with your health. Now, when I did this, it was to do the Q1 stair challenge on the Gold Coast. It was to improve my flexibility. Tick, done that one. It was to have a no medication life. Tick. And it was to have a tight, lifted, toned butt. Tick. So
if you don't mind saying yourself.
So this is how great.
Is there a people holding up a scorecard, or?
I just think it just comes down to your own, personal evaluation, and I don't know, it feels pretty toned and tight. So, and then. And then, it might be something like, what are 4 goals that you've achieved in the past that you would like to achieve again? So, really reliving those amazing moments in your life. And it could be as simple as, I've had a child before and I would love to have another one. So these goals, these 100 goals for the soul are things that we don't often think about. So another one might be, what are 4 wonders of the world that you would love to visit? What are 4 concerts you would love to see? What are 4 major sporting events you would love to go and visit anywhere in the world? Or what are 4 cities or countries you would love to live in for an extended period of time? So these are amazing, and they really get you thinking about what is actually possible out there. And you're right, Joel, when you fill out this 100 goals for the soul, in 5 years' time, statistics show you'll have 75% of them ticked off. Because here's what's happening in everyday life. This is the average person, gets up out of bed, has breakfast. Sometimes they take it with them in the car. They go to work, working on somebody else's dreams. They come home, they be a parent, or they watch TV, and then they go to bed late, and then they get up and they do it again and again and again. And not once throughout their day are they thinking about, where's my next 5 years going to be? Where do I want to be in 6 months' time? Where do I want to be in 6 weeks' time or 6 minutes' time? No one's thinking about this stuff, Joel. The average person is just going through the motions of survival. You know, we're doing what we can to get by. We're basically working to pay bills. And we don't want you to live that life. We want you to live a bigger life than that and stop playing small and start dreaming. Start thinking about, well, what's actually possible? Could I really go and spend an extended period of time in the Maldives? Could I really go and live, you know, in London? You know, yes, you can. If that's what your heart desires, yes, you can create that. So on the day, Joel, we're going to be absolutely giving people the tools on how to create those 100 goals for the soul. And when you fill this in and you get your partner to do it and you sit down together, it tells you so much about the other person. And you know what the cool thing is, Joel? When you're an entrepreneur, you can grab one of your partner's lifetime goals, put it on your vision board and make one of their bucket list goals or one of their lifetime goals come true. And I did that for Tom a couple of years ago when his whole life he wanted to go to the Anzac Day game between Collingwood and Bombers. We're mad Bombers fans. He's always wanted to go. And I put that on my vision board to be able to pay for him to go get the tickets, accommodation, flights and everything. And a couple of years ago, I gave him that gift to see the pure joy in his face. I can still see it to this day. That memory will never be taken off me. That moment in time where I was able to give someone something off their bucket list, guys, that's priceless. Isn't that what we're here to do? Isn't that what living is all about? When you make it about other people, it's not about you. But guess what? We need funds to do that. We need money to be able to do these experiences, to be able to gift things to other people. And a lot of us, as I said, are just living to pay the bills. We're not actually getting ahead. We don't have our finances organized, and we don't even know what our partners want. So this is a great exercise that people can do and get the whole family involved and start working towards things that actually set your soul on fire.
Absolutely. Like I know the greats, like Grant Cardone, he sits down every week on a Sunday and has a whole family, like ever since the kids were like 2 and all that sort of stuff. And they have a talk about money. They have a discussion around money and how they're getting towards their goals. Like they set family goals at the dinner table once a week. Like who does that? Oh, successful people, obviously, you know, and so many people, you know, don't set goals as, you know, as if they already possess them. You need to set those goals as if you already possess them and like hear those words because you need to have them specific. You need to have accountability and you need to visualize your goals. And if you aren't like setting them as if you've already got them, how are you going to visualize it? And how are you going to have gratitude around it? How are you going to like work towards it, you know? And you want to feel that level of excitement. Otherwise, how are you ever, like motivation dies. Like I don't ever want to be known as a motivational speaker or a motivator. Like people say, so motivated. I'm like, I just want you to take some action. You know, take action towards it. I don't want to be motivating, you know, and I did something today, like this is going off on a tangent, but I like just hear people that won't educate themselves around even what they're saying no to. You know, they've already got a limiting belief that they've got from Uncle Billy Bob about having a masterpiece life, you know, and I'm just going to say, like, they call people like us brainwashers. I'm like, you guys need a good brainwashing because you've got, like, your mind's filled with all the garbage. You need someone to come and clean it out, to tell you that how to set goals, to do it. Like, for God's sake, don't take 18 years like it took me to wake up to myself.
I think too, Joel, sorry to cut you off, is that people think they're going to live forever and there's plenty of time to do these things, and there's not.
Like, there's not. Like, one of the most amazing things that ever happened to me was that speech you did at an event with 1,000 people, and you played that video at the start, and it was like, like the woman narrating was pleading people to have the intelligence to work towards their goals now. Don't wait, because like our longevity is a curse. It's a blessing and a curse, you know, because people just think, oh, I'll do it later. And do you know how many times I say to my clients, you're pushing 40 or you're 50, like you're not 20. It's time to like take this seriously, because one of my mentors said to me, Joel, you're going to blink your eyes. I know you're 40 now. You're going to blink your eyes and you'll be 50 and you'll go, where the hell did that 10 years go? And you'll still be just floating. He goes, you're in a position where you can float now, and that's the worst place to be. That's worse than back here when I was in like up shit creek. You know what I mean? Because I was motivated then. Like you can't, like I'm luckily and fortunately in a place where I can be a bit floaty. And I know yourself, you could fall into that trap too. And I definitely know some of our other business partners are like that as well, that we've got in our different companies that we work with. And until they walk in and they get a massive cause that they go, holy crap, my $1 million a year income or my $5 million a year income is not enough to change this problem. Like until they've attached it to something bigger than them, a mission, they're not going to get anywhere. And like that's why I attach myself to people like that just keep thinking bigger. Like I just remember at an event in Gold Coast, there was this woman and she's making like $2 or $3 million. And this amazing high level coach just said to her, I hope you realize, congratulations, but I hope you realize you're only using 10% of your ability. You're only 10% of the way there. You're going to come and work with me and I'm going to get that other 90% out. Because playing this small, like, I just want to reiterate, she's making $2 or $3 million a year. More, I actually found it later, and she's at 10% of her ability, and he's going to get the other 90% out. And I bet you when he gets it out, he's going to say, you're not even there again. Like, guys, be around those people. That's how you have an unstoppable life. Get around those people. Like, I hope people can feel the passion in my voice because it's so important. To get away from the dipshits, get around people that say, yes, you can have more. Like, am I right, Kristine?
Oh, absolutely. You got to start like really looking at the associations you have with people and your peer group. You want to have people around you who are doing the things that you want to do. You want to have people around you who are going to elevate you. Who, let's say that you're playing at a level of 50% and they're playing at a level of 80, 90%. You want to hang around those people because eventually that is going to help you elevate. That's going to help you raise your standards as an individual. And you're going to start having the wins that we spoke about at the start. So absolutely, you've got to start looking at, well, are the people that are in my life right now, are they influential? Are they people that I aspire to have the lifestyle that they've created or to tick off some of the goals that they've created? Or are the people that I'm hanging around majority of the time, are they just getting by? Are they just in survival mode? Are they negative? Are they toxic? Are they holding me back? You got to really be honest with yourself because, and Joel knows this about me, but I don't do drama. So if any of my friends no one brings me drama because they know I don't put up with it. No one brings me negativity because they know I've got like a no negativity radar around me. And you know how refreshing life is when you set those boundaries, when you start hanging around people that don't bring you the drama, that don't bring you the bullshit. Oh my gosh, you feel so much freer because what I was doing in the past was I was living everyone's pain with them. I was living everyone's drama with them. I was getting involved in it and it was holding me back. It was keeping me playing small and I was emotionally taking it home with me. So not only did their problem become their problem, it became my problem as well. So we want to give you the emotional intelligence on how to handle that, what to do with it if people are coming to you with the dramas and things like that. You've got to set personal boundaries. Otherwise, people are going to take advantage of you. So we don't want that for you. We want, honestly, we don't have a lot of time to tick off those 100 goals, and we want you to have way more than 100 goals for the soul. So we got to get to work, and you don't have time to be dabbling in other people's drama, to be getting held back by negative and toxic people. So we're going to give you some tools at The Unstoppable Life on how to be able to kind of distance yourself from people like that. You don't have to cut them out of your life. Let's face it, a lot of it is our family. And we can't really kind of cut our family out. Well, sometimes you can if they're that bad.
I'll give you a strategy how to do it. I've got proven strategies. I hear you though. And like one little tweak you can make, if this is like, if you're hearing this going, oh, it's all well and good, I can't make it to this event. I can't I'm going to give you something, the listener something right now that actually, luckily I'm I was on the right side of when it was brought to my attention, but it was to help me become an even better coach and to influence my my associates, my business partners in a positive way. You know, answer this question and look inside yourself. Would you rather be respected or liked? Now, the majority of the people out there on the planet, everyone says, I want to be respected. Until you put them in, let's put them into a sales position then. And let's see what the truth really is, because, you know, the mouth and the obviously wanting to say the right thing is, hey, I want to be respected more than liked. But the truth really comes out in a sales situation when there's pressure. And what you find in the majority of cases is people would rather be liked. And if that's the majority of the planet, there's no wonder the world is the way it is, because there's so many people that would be treading on eggshells that won't ask that person for the sale, that won't ask that girl out, that won't because they think that they won't be liked, and if they're not liked, they can't be loved, and if they can't be loved, they're not enough, and they might as well be dead. It's a fear of death. I can go down that rabbit hole, but if you can consciously change that belief to being respected, you know, and you hold yourself in a place where you love yourself enough, and it's self-love, and it's like self-acceptance, and you can get into that place, like that switch that you can flick, and it's in your control to flick, will give you more confidence. We'll send you down the path of finding more confidence. We'll turn your life around. You know what I mean? Like when that got said to me, I was like, oh my God, that was like a light bulb moment went on. I think I became a 10 times better coach just by looking in that filter. I don't know. Have you come across people that you could think would do so much better if they would flick that switch, Kristine?
You know what, Joel? It all comes down to self-respect. And I can look in someone's fridge and I can tell you how much self-respect that person has for themselves. I can look at their bank account and tell you how much self-worth or self-respect they've got for themselves. You know, so we're going to cover so much on this day. And, you know, let's talk to our future selves, because if we're listening to this podcast back from 5 years from now, hopefully we're taking over the globe, and there is so many of these workshops and retreats and seminars happening, and they're longer than 1 day as well. That's where we're going with this. But this 1 day workshop, if you can't make it, then the next best thing is to reach out to us. Reach out to us and say, guys, what you're saying is making so much sense, but I need help around this, or I'm feeling stuck, or I'm finding this really challenging in this area, and reach out to us. But for those of you that can make it to the Gold Coast on Friday the 23rd, basically tickets are super, super cheap. We've made them super cheap because we want people to come. We want people to not have any excuses for not being in that room, okay? So, Joel, can I share the price of the tickets?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So the tickets are $39, guys. $39. We're capping it at 20 people because, as Joel said, we want it to be intimate. We want it to be really focused and have that individual time with some of you as well. And you're going to have so much fun, guys. We've got a couple of games planned. We've got a few surprises. But you are going to absolutely walk away from this 1 day event with so much clarity and certainty and more confidence, and have a clear direction of where you're going. And for $39, holy smokes, I don't know where else you can get that kind of value out there. And Joel and I, we don't want to charge you thousands of dollars for something like this, which is what most people are doing. But we want to be able to give you the grassroots tools and resources you need to start building that unstoppable life. And guess what, guys? It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to work on it consistently over time. It's not easy to reinvent yourself. It's not easy to rewire your brain and break some of these habits that haven't been serving you for so long, but they're just stuck within your system. We need you to rewire that stuff. We need you to go back as well. And this is another thing we'll be covering on the day is some of you have really negative associations and memories associated with some events in your life. We're actually going to get you to go back and rewrite some of those events so that you have a positive feeling towards them, so that you can move on, so you can let them be and move on with your life. And start feeling more of those positive emotions that I spoke about, start being a better example, and start living that unstoppable life. And Joel, I want to finish it, well, my section today, I want to finish it with a quote that I heard today from Shakespeare. Well, obviously he didn't say it today, but someone quoted Shakespeare today, and I really loved it. The quote is that we know what we are, but not what we may be. And when you come to the Unstoppable workshop, we want you to know what you could be.
Absolutely. That was amazing. We do want you to know that. That's why we are doing these podcasts. You know, these podcasts are like a labor of love for us, that we just want, you know, for me, I wanted to devalue all the bullshit artists out there. I really, really did. It was my mission. I think that's why I give away so much stuff at like next to nothing. It's why I don't often charge like exorbitant amounts, even though I could, for coaching, you know. And honestly, like for me, like I want to read something too that has smacked me into even more action, you know, like, because we get, you know, the 84,000 seconds a day, you know, 14,400 minutes, I think it is. That's from memory. So do the maths, you know what I mean. But the average lifespan for a person is 78 years. So of those years, 28 will be spent sleeping, and 7 of those sleeping years will be spent lying awake with worry. Factor in the average of 11 years watching television or surfing the internet, 10 and a half years working, 4 years driving, the years spent eating, getting dressed, doing mundane tasks. It leaves approximately 8 years to live your life. You know, if we told you that right now, that you only had 8 years left in this life, what would you do? How would your sense of urgency change? Like, how grateful would you be for every second? Like, seriously.
Wow.
Seriously, you have 8 years to do what you want, to live the masterpiece life. Why, in the name of any energy, God, anything out there, would you waste it with someone else with their thumb on your head or their foot on your forehead holding you down? Go take action. Like, just go take action. Say yes to that crazy business. Say yes to that crazy idea. Because in the end, it doesn't matter. If it's not going to bother you in 5 years, don't sweat it. Because in 100 years, most of us will not be here, and none of all this worry crap and all this, whether you got fired or whether this person hated what you said or liked your Facebook Live or you got a like on Instagram. Instagram probably won't be around in 100 years. Like, it'll be something else. It'll be, you know, so who gives a shit? Go live your life. Go live it now. Go build your network marketing company. Go build your crazy surf company, or go start a coaching business like we're doing. Like, we're building a new business like together. Like, go do it. Just go do it. So I don't know, Kristine. I don't know if that's started you up again or anything, but that's what I wanted to leave them with.
Yeah, that's amazing, mate. Outstanding call once again. And if you want to know more information about the Unstoppable Life workshop, reach out to Joel, reach out to myself. You can find us on social media. We're both on Instagram. We're both on Facebook. And we hope to see you there. It's going to be amazing. As I said, lots of fun, lots of games, lots of surprises. But that clarity that you're looking for in life, we will definitely give you that. So thanks to all our listeners for listening once again. Thank you, Joel. You are outstanding as always. And we will see you guys next week on our next podcast.
Damn. Yeah.